Good morning, Canada, and away we go. Hey,
Whoa.
Here we are. Welcome. Look at that. Just checking to see if you're awake out there. Welcome to the Rod Pedersen Show, everybody. Rod Pedersen with you, the host, and the co-host is Darren Dupont. Welcome to episode 170 of the Rod Pedersen Show, Canada's only live morning sports talk show, coming at you this morning. And don't be fooled by the Dallas Stars tracksuit. It's not going to be all hockey today. I'm excited about the guests that we're going to have. My good friend Matthew Barnaby from SiriusXM NHL Radio, the former NHL pest and pugilist, will be with us. I'm very excited about that. Got a lot of hockey things to get through. Chris Dingman will be with us, the former Brandon Wheat King, Tampa Bay Lightning Stanley Cup winner, and now a Lightning analyst. He'll be joining us from the Sunshine State. Ben McIntosh of the Saskatchewan Rush, because it's home game week for the Rush, Colorado Mammoth in town Saturday. And joining us at the bunker coming up in segment 2, Global Regina's Taylor Shire, our director of officiating. And yes, we're going to get into fighting in hockey. We're going to get into the Leafs implosion last night. We're going to get into the Battle of Alberta. But we got a lot of football to get to here in the Rollout for Flooring Superstores. And cheap sponsor mention, I can do it. I'm not sure Taylor can. You can, because we're the bosses.
Oh, yeah.
Benny Cahoon. Ben Cahoon. G2G bar. All the boys are running on G2G protein bars this morning. And I'm trying to lose 30 pounds. I think this is going to be my ticket.
That's the ticket.
This is the ticket. G2G protein bars. Ben Cahoon is the Canadian sales rep for that company, and they're very good. This is the almond coconut. What did you have, Taylor? He can't remember.
He had chocolate, coconut,
peanut butter, coconut. Look, he's losing weight already, I can tell.
I'm full.
He doesn't have any weight to lose.
He didn't have a lot to lose. But thank you, Benny Cahoon, and thanks for all that you do. So let's get to the quick 6 show topics, okay?
Yeah.
And then get into... and then the poll and all the rest. Streveler to the Arizona Cardinals. We chopped this up a little bit yesterday, but Janice on Twitter last night brought up a really good point that everybody's saying. Chris Streveler goes to the Arizona Cardinals, a third-ring quarterback, and Bo Levi Mitchell can't. Hold on to your bingo cards. We'll come back around on that. It's a really good question. It's got people talking. Point 2, were you offended by the halftime show of Super Bowl 54? I wasn't. I know you weren't. I just had to pick your tongue up off the floor. But John Chick went off on Facebook. Did you see his 7-minute rant? Disgusting. Pornographic. Had to take my kids away from the television. I just want to ask if other people were offended by the Grey Cup halftime show. I was not. Very simply, and I love John like family. He is family. What did I say? Super Bowl. What did I say? Grey Cup?
Yeah.
Sorry. Super Bowl halftime. If you don't like it, change the channel. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Yeah. It's not the only channel on TV.
No, like if you're offended, change the channel. John, I love you, but if you're offended, you got to get over these things. Woo-sa. What you can't control, right? You can't control anything but your attitude. That's it. And the light switch. Point 4, the Winnipeg Jets have terminated or are going to terminate the contract of Dustin Bufflin. Did you see that?
Yes.
So I've been watching the coverage this morning. It was on either TSN or Sportsnet. They're saying Big Buff will have his contract terminated, which I think we all expect. Mm-hmm. And it seems like he lost his drive. That's what we're hearing. But will become a free agent after his contract's terminated. Wouldn't it be dirty pool if he turned around and signed with another team?
Yeah, I don't know exactly what the relationship is with Winnipeg and Dustin. I know it's not a good one. There's a little bit of turmoil there. So perhaps, he might want to play again. And the situation in Winnipeg just, doesn't have that love for the game anymore. But yeah, it would be dirty, and it's going to affect what Winnipeg does. The trade deadline coming up later on this month. They're asking, well, what are they going to do? Well, you really can't go house shopping, and this is the quote I heard. You really can't go house shopping until you know what you can spend. So you got to clear up this, situation first. But Buff hasn't even skated apparently. He hasn't even skated this year, so he's not in game shape. He hasn't been playing. So even if he does sign, he's a little ways away. He's probably 3-4 weeks away from playing anyway.
I'm more inclined to believe that he's done. When they terminate the contract, he's not playing NHL anymore. He's made $50 million reported in his career. Won his Stanley Cup. What else he got left to prove? But that's what's up in Winnipeg, and our viewers there may have another viewpoint on that. I'd love to hear it. It brings me into point 5 of the Quick 6 show topics. James Wilder. Does anybody care but me? He asked for his release from the Argos, gets it, and then signs with the rival Montreal Alouettes. I don't know what the dollar figure difference was there, but is this where we are now in 2020, that you can just ask to be released and go to your competition? Because I think anybody in society would like to do that if you could.
Well, when you're asking for your release, it's not necessarily to sign with the competition. I mean, we had James Wilder on the program, and he talked about the situation with Corey Chamberlain and how he kind of fell out of favor with the coaching staff. This was a long time ago, and now it's kind of being brought up again. But that was kind of breaking to us when he said that on this program, but that he wasn't happy. But he wasn't being utilized. It's not like he was the starting running back there, didn't like the situation and left. He was, being asked to play special teams when he was coming off the injury, wasn't getting any touches. So he's like, look, I don't want to be here anymore if you don't want to value me as a running back. And so he found somebody who does.
It's kind of like Jalen Ramsey asking for his trade out of Jacksonville.
Yeah.
He didn't ask for his release. He asked for a trade. This stuff's been going on forever. I just wondered is everybody going to be like that? Because that would cause a problem.
Yeah.
If everybody wants off a bottom feeder.
Well, tell me.
It's not really supposed to work like that.
In your day in hockey and in your dad's day, did this happen?
No.
Guys asking for releases? No. It's changed.
It was in the 90s, an Al House tour. Al Tour, the great Al Tour, who's now a pro scout for the Florida Panthers. We were just sitting around shooting the fat. And he said, it used to be an honor to wear the jersey. Now it's an option.
Yeah.
And that was in junior. And so this is what it is now, and it's not changing. But back when we used to sit around and talk with the coaches like that. So that's where we are now. But that's my point. Is Wilder a precursor of things to come? Because I think that it is.
Players have a much bigger voice now than they ever have. And it starts with the unions for sure, with the players union. But, they just have a much louder voice. Players can come together and complain and can get coaches fired, right? That never was even an option. Players would be gone long before the coach would be gone, and now they're requesting trades. They have a little bit more to do there. So, and now you're seeing even teams when it comes to players, even as far back as Leon Draisaitl when he came back to Prince Albert, demanding where players go. It's a much bigger business than it ever used to be. I
love when people chime in with where they are watching from. We've got Burns Lake, BC. Good morning, Devon. We've got Greg in Okotoks, Alberta, home of the Oilers. Viewers can see his picture on the screen. Drew Koser says he's watching from the office before they go out for their morning skate. Storm playing tonight?
It must be.
They must be morning skate. Thanks, guys. Appreciate that. And point 6 of the Quick 6, I got to say thank you to the BC Lions. And I mean from the bottom of my heart, thank you. This package came in the mail yesterday. A lot of really cool things. The piece de resistance I'll get to. One, this absolutely gorgeous BC Lions Dante Marsh jersey. And Dante's a friend of the show. He's been on before. How gorgeous is that?
Oh, it's awesome.
Tyler's come out from his cage, our sales guy, to have a look at what we got here. Number 2, for the desk. A Mike Riley bobblehead doll.
Ooh.
This from the BC Lions, everybody. This is happening.
I thought maybe
look at that.
He wouldn't be holding a helmet; it'd be a top hat or whatever he wears.
That would be good.
The fancy top hat,
and Wally Buono's media pass from the last ever game at Taylor Field.
Whoa!
Remember what a night that was?
Whoa!
Darian, George, Gino, Roger, Wally Buono from his side of things. Wally Buono's, I guess it wouldn't be a media pass; it would be accreditation as the head coach of the BC Lions. So I can't thank you enough, Matt, and the people at the BC Lions office for adorning our desk. I think this is the first guest we've received from a CFL team.
From a team. Very cool.
So thanks, guys. So many nice things are happening to me. I'm very grateful for it. The Vegas Golden Knights thing, my mind is really starting to drift to Las Vegas next week and going there to hang out with the Golden Knights for a few days. So all I can say is thank you. Really appreciate it. Now, to come back around, on the Streveler to Arizona thing, and why is it not Bo Levi Mitchell? My take is simply this. Bo Levi and Strev are at two very different points in their career. Streveler's, 25? Bo's 28, 29. He's on his, I think his third contract. Streveler's just finishing his first. Streveler's going to Arizona with no expectations, it seems to me, and a $100,000 bonus. Probably way more than he was making as the third-string quarterback with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. I totally get what Janice is saying. How does Bo Levi not get a deal in the NFL and Streveler gets a $100,000 deal? Well, Bo's making, restructured contract aside, $700,000-ish. Even with the exchange, that's a hell of a lot more than what the Cardinals were giving Chris Streveler. And Bo wants an assurance. Did you watch This Is Us last week? There was a phrase in there, never settle. Bo's not going unless he gets it all.
Yeah.
And Streveler is in a different situation in his career and in his life. Am I right? That's what I think.
Completely. It's in a completely different place. Chris Streveler's in a place where he can take a chance, where he can earn some time. Bo's doesn't really have the luxury to go and sit on the bench somewhere and wait and grow into a starting quarterback. Maybe a couple of seasons, but that's about it. Yeah, he wants to go and know that he can compete as a starting quarterback. Chris Streveler is going as kind of a tool, multi-tool, as an athlete who can maybe do a few more things than Bo Levi can. That's the difference. Neither one is going down there to turn a team around and be a starting quarterback or to even throw the football. But when it comes to how you can be used, Chris Streveler just has more tools in the toolbox than Bo Levi does.
Chad Isaac, one of our viewers, writes in and says, Bo demanded to be a starter. Strev is just hoping he makes it. I think you're close. I think Bo Levi wants a chance to be the starter, right? Why he didn't sign with the Minnesota Vikings. I just get this sense from Streveler that he's just happy to be there. And $100,000 at his age, sure. I think with Bo, because I was seeing this stuff on message boards and social media when I said, I get where Bo's at. And people were saying, oh, Rod, are you comparing your life to him? Blah, blah, blah. Well, in a way I am. And you know this. I've had the offers from TSN and Sportsnet, but I got a family of 5 to feed, or at the time I did. And Bo's got a family of 4 to feed. Streveler's young and free and easy. Right? Bo's got bigger considerations. That's all. So that's where I see where Bo's coming from. And, as I've said to you before, you generally can't have both. Family or chase the career. You're very lucky if you can. It's pretty rare. So I get where Bo's at. He's at an older stage in his life. He's got more responsibilities than Chris Streveler. Streveler's going to Arizona, which, by the way, brings up our poll question today. And I don't know, Clark, how we're going to do this, because yesterday we couldn't get the... Oh, and by the way, when I say I had a family of 5 to feed and those offers from TSN and Sportsnet, they were for chicken feed. That's why I say never settle.
Yeah.
Bo's going for the whole enchilada or he's not going at all.
Yeah.
I get that.
And he wants to play.
Because mine was the same. Yes, wants to play. He wants a guarantee. How's that?
Yeah.
And Streveler's not getting a guarantee. He's not going to challenge Kyler Murray to be the starting quarterback of the Arizona Cardinals. So on that vein, the poll question today for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center is... which CFL grad stands a better chance of sticking in the National Football League? There, thank you for putting this up. Here's the Facebook poll. My options are from the Las Vegas Raiders, Derek Moncrief, from the Chicago Bears, Trey Roberson, from the Las Vegas Raiders, William Stanback, or from the Arizona Cardinals, Chris Streveler. If you had a vote of those 4, who would you
Trey
vote for?
Trey Roberson. They're saying that deal is the most lucrative financially of all the deals from CFL players going to the NFL since Cameron Wake. So for me, I'm going Trey Roberson as my most likely to stick.
Well, the voters on Facebook are going with Derek Moncrief.
Yeah, I can see that too.
53.8% of respondents are saying Derek Moncrief stands the best chance of sticking in the National Football League. And I'm talking about just playing in 2020. Not being cut and coming back at Labor Day like generally happens. But Moncrief did not get a $100,000 bonus like Chris Streveler. That's what makes this so fun to talk about.
Right. And with that, and you mentioned it yesterday, it's not chicken feed. They don't just throw money away in the NFL. So in that sense, Chris Streveler's almost, he's already got the go straight past, training camp. You've earned a spot on the team.
Well, it's one reason why I enjoy a booze take and when we have the pros in, because they can explain it more. Fans just think because it's the NFL and they make $75 million a game on gate revenue that they just throw money around willy-nilly. They don't. And as he pointed out yesterday, that $100,000 is highly accounted for. They're not giving him that money and a free plane ticket as a bonus. They got plans for him. Mm-hmm. So we will have that poll up for the next 23 hours or so. But right now, Derek Moncrief leads by our listeners who are voting who stands the best chance coming out of the CFL, sticking in the NFL. Derek Moncrief leads 53.8%. Trey Roberson's next at 36.1%. Chris Streveler at 6%. And William Stanbeck at 4%. We're bringing in our director of officiating, Taylor Shire. Like I said, a lot of hockey guys on today, Matthew Barnaby, Chris Dingman, but I'm not averse to the football talk either, if that's what everybody wants to get into. This has been the rollout for Flooring Superstores and the Dickin family. We'll be right back with a sports update. It's the Rod Pedersen Show on Facebook Live and listen live at rodpeterson.com.
You're watching Rod Pedersen On Demand. For more of the Rod Pedersen Show, visit rodpeterson.com or follow Rod Pedersen on social media.